Welcome to the fifth and final installment of our series, Twitter 101, a series to help you understand Twitter. If you haven't seen the first 4 videos, I will link to it in this video. Hi and welcome back. This is Nick Carbonaro, Professor Nick Carbonaro here at Long Beach City College. You could find me at nickcarbonaro.com. You could subscribe to me on YouTube at youtube.com/Professor Nick Carbonaro. Or because we're doing a Twitter, you could always tweet me at NJ Today is our fifth and final installment. This video is our fifth and final installment of Twitter 101, a series to help you understand Twitter. And what we're talking about today is why you would use Twitter, the uses for Twitter. So one of the things that I always get from my students, and if you're interested in being my student, I will post a video right here that tells you registration instructions, and you could always go to my website. All that information's there as well. I have a little button that says register for my classes. But one of the things that I get from students when we talk about digital and social media is, I already know social media. In fact, I just sent out emails to undeclared majors saying, hey, social media would be a great tool for you to have. Come join my class. And I gave them all the information. I get some students responding back, and a student responded back. It's kind of funny that why would I need to use this? How do I use social media? I only do it every day. Well, I only watch TV every day. So, but I couldn't tell you how to gauge audience ratings or how to produce a script or the right motives. Just because you do something doesn't mean you understand it. You're a consumer of it. You eat a lot of food, but do you know how certain foods are made? Probably not. So that's one of the things that I get from students all the time, especially this millennial generation, which I love. I'm part of the millennial generation. We got Generation Z coming up. My sister's part of Generation Z. But it's this presumption that, oh, because I was born on it, I know it. And the funny thing is, majority of the time, people do not know about social media. They don't know about the ethics. They don't know about the etiquette. They don't know about the history. They don't know anything like that. But regarding Twitter itself is even more of a complaint from some students. They say, well, I don't really need Twitter. I don't understand that. I'm not into politics, right? They think Twitter is only about politics, which it's quite overrun with political views, and you always have to have an opinion on something, right? It's almost like tribal warfare out on Twitter, that if you're not part of your faction and your faction's backing you up with tweets, you can get pummeled by the opposition. But for the business-minded student, that's what we do. We teach academic courses here at Long Beach City College. If you want to join us, register at lbcc.edu, and you could join our classes. GBiz25 for me, for social media. But with Twitter, I'll always have students say, oh, you know what, I don't know what I would even use Twitter for. Who cares about Twitter? You know, I had a student that worked at SpaceX, and he's like, why would I need to know Twitter? And I'm like, well, SpaceX is owned by Elon Musk. Wouldn't you want to? He's very active on Twitter. Don't you want to know what your boss is thinking? So we will go through that right now. 7 uses for Twitter, right? 7 uses for Twitter. And so the first one that we have is to reach your audience, right? No matter what your audience is, if it's clients, if it's competitors, colleagues, employers, it's always good to do that. I share my Twitter handle with my colleagues here at Long Beach City College, and in fact, I was able to lead students to internships and jobs using Twitter. I had another colleague tweet me and say, hey, they're looking for social media people. I email some of my my top of the class students and say, hey, you should apply for this position. And they did, and some of them got internships, some of them got jobs. And so reach your audience. You want your audience to know who you are. You want to connect with them, right? Connect with those people. 2, it's a direct communication, right? You don't have to open up an email. You don't have to subscribe to a mailing list. You don't have to check your mail. It is direct and to the point. If you have a Twitter account, it pops up, right? So that direct communication is key. Number 3, it's targeted, right? It's specific. If you use hashtags, which I said, and I'm going to make a video on hashtag theory in the future, mentions in your own followers. We talked about mentions. We talked about followers. The pictures, the captioning. It's very targeted to who you want it to be targeted to. So if you're in business, like I teach business and stuff, I could target it to people in that industry. Very, very targeted, and which makes all the clutter go away. 4, it's amplified, meaning tweets can be retweeted. So if I send out a tweet and somebody with 100,000 followers retweets that, well, guess what? You're going to generate a lot more eyeballs, right? People are going to look at your tweets, and when they share it, their followers share it, and when their followers share it, they share it, and that's how something becomes viral, right? And we'll do a lecture on virality. I'll do a video series on virality. So amplified your tweets can get. 5, it's communication is in informal mode, right? Facebook, the king of all social media platforms, it's not professional at all. It's your personal, right? You put your family, your friends, your status updates, all that type of stuff. LinkedIn, the business website, your online portfolio, your online business profile, that's way too professional, right? You're kind of stuck in this little box of professionalism with LinkedIn. However, Twitter's the right mix. You can link to certain things in your profile picture. You could have a personal viewpoint on certain current events that are going on. You could stick to professional. You could talk about your family. You could kind of go interchangeably without being too controversial that it could turn off clients if you're in the business sector, right? And we talk about all that in our digital and social media class. 6, you could publicize your content. So if you have something that you want to say, for example, this video, right? This video, I wanted to get out there, so after I create the videos, I share it on Twitter and say, hey, part 5 is up, 5th and final part of our Twitter 101 series, check it out, right? And my students have a place now, if they're following me, to actually go on and watch my videos through Twitter instead of having to log into YouTube and do all that type of stuff. So it publicizes your content. If you're a journalist, if you're a writer, if you're whatever you are, it publicizes that content for you. And then lastly, it's information monitoring, right? People, places, company. If you work for a company, don't you want to know what your competitors are doing? If you have a client, don't you want to see what they're doing online? Maybe certain people, before you go in for an interview, you look up their Twitter account, see what they're tweeting about. See, maybe they post a lot of pictures of the Dodgers, or a lot of pictures of the Angels, or a lot of pictures at museums, or whatever. Now you could have something that you can go into an interview with and actually get the job because you connected with them on a personal level, right? And so many great uses for Twitter. Those are just a few that I came up with that you could actually see and you could actually implement today, and why you would need to use Twitter. So going back from series part 1, which was finding out what a tweet is, to part 2, which was about retweets and mentions, to part 3, which was about loopholes. Part 4 was how people see your tweets and who sees those tweets. And then part 5 on how to use Twitter. I think this is a very good primer. Obviously, there's a lot more to learn with Twitter. It's a very complicated thing, but yet it's simple in nature. It's only 140 characters. You're shooting your information out there. However, if you're a novice to this video could definitely help you. It could get you on track, get you on your, sending out your first tweets or whatever. Don't get discouraged. Everything has a learning curve, right? So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share it. Go to nickcarbonaro.com. Check out the registration instructions at Long Beach City College. See if you like what you see here, share the videos, right? That's how we get social media out into the world, is by sharing content. And so with that, I hope you enjoyed this series. If you want to comment and leave a comment and say which series you want to see next, do it. I'm probably going to be doing a hashtag or a virality, or maybe switch it up and do some personal finance, because I also teach personal finance and intro to business. But thank you so much for participating in this Twitter 101 series, and I will see you all next time.